Hey everybody, Paul Turner here from thediscipleproject.net. Super glad to be with you today. Here to talk about the Christian music that dropped last week and how you can use it in your youth ministry this week. We're going to do a breakdown. Now listen, there's not been a lot of great Christian albums out. I've really had to hunt for them. But you know what? When I hunt for them, I tend to find some really, really special ones. Some of these are a little bit backlogged. They didn't come out last week. They came out at some different times. But nonetheless, they are going to be some excellent albums that you can get a hold of and do some amazing things with it. So let me start off with our first artist today, Daniel Doss, and Praise the King. Daniel Doss is new to me, but let me tell you what, I am on fire with it. It is such a great, it would be too limiting to say that it's just a worship album. I think there's a lot going on in this album. There are various themes all throughout the album. For your youth room, I recommend Lights Rise Up is a great song just to have it playing. It's very upbeat. Creates a positive vibe in your room. For worship now, there's a lot of songs in there, but I recommend Praise the King and You Hold It All, both of which are just phenomenal songs. If you have a band that can learn this, they are great. If not, simply let your kids sing along with it. Create a little slides with it and let them go for it. Now, for Bible studies, great songs for the Bible studies. One's called Roots Run Deep. It is an excellent opportunity to talk about Ephesians 3:17 and talk about being rooted and grounded in Christ. The song lends itself to that and lends itself to just describing our journey with God, that we want to be rooted in Him because of His great love for us. I also recommend Stained Glass Window. I think it so well portrays, the pieces of our lives, the brokenness and all those things, and how God takes those things and actually puts them together to create something beautiful out of it. I'm feeling a Bible study coming out of this one. Can you feel it? And then finally, Brother Come Home, which talks about kind of the older brother, kind of talks about the judgment we have sometimes when somebody who maybe we don't either like or think doesn't deserve the grace of God, actually comes to know the Father and comes to know Christ, and then we have a little attitude about that. Well, I think this is a great song to talk about that we should be like the Father and be like the person that welcomes home people who come to know Christ versus being offstandish and keeping people at arm's length. So it's a great song to talk about that. Now, in the arts category, there's a song called Belong, which I think would be a very cool song that if you're wanting to do something with your youth ministry and maybe you have a retreat, maybe it'd be a good song to do as a retreat song, or maybe something you're doing with guests, things like that. But where you want to build that feeling of belonging is a really good song if you want to drive home that point. Like I said, Stained Glass Window and Brother Comes Home could be a drama of some sort because it tells 2 or 3 different stories through it, through Peter, denying Christ, and then also the prodigal son. So there's a lot going on in there that you could be able to do a drama from that. Now, for altar time, I am recommending Trust and Anchor. Both of those are really good songs if you want to play those at the end of your night for either reflective purposes or as just prayer time and things like that. Let's move on now to probably my favorite album in quite some time, and that is CeCe Winans and Let Them Fall in Love. Now, if you're not familiar with CeCe Winans is gospel royalty of the Winans family. Google it up. She is pretty epic. She has put out some really, really great music over the years. And this album, I'm just telling you, that just from the cover, look at the cover. The cover reminds me of this kind of like old school 1960s retro kind of where gospel artists would just be on the on the front cover there and very Aretha Franklin style, maybe. I don't know. That's what kind of resonates with me in that way. You may not be old enough to remember those things, but I do, and I think this is just has the feels to it. The youth room songs you want to have on that, Hey Devil, and Lowly, and Dancing in the Spirit, all 3 are great numbers you want to put in there. Also, worship, totally recommend Dancing in the Spirit. Listen, why not, right? Why not crank that thing up and says, look, everybody, we're going to take, just have like in your youth room, just say, look, it is time to take a dance break. play this song and let them do their little dance. Even play for 30 seconds to kind of break up the monotony of the meeting a little bit and say, look, it's time to dance in the spirit, everybody, and play the song and then let them go at it and just and have a little bit of fun with it. Also for worship, I recommend the song Marvelous. It comes out as a great hymn, but I think I think kids would totally connect with this. For Bible study, I recommend Peace from God and Lowly. Lowly, I mean, Peace from God is I mean, that's it. You do the Bible study on peace, and that's probably so the song helps you out there, right? But Lowly, that high is for the lowly. That basically you're teaching kids and saying, listen, you know what? Jesus said, look, if you want to be the greatest, you got to be the servant of all. And so that's a great song to use with that. Marvelous has that quality to it that you could do some sort of dance, interpretive dance to it. You could do maybe a little drama. You could do maybe like a glow in the dark, black light gloved hand type of thing. I think would really be cool to this. But you could really just listen to the song. I think it's just there. It has some great imagery to it that you could really do some fun stuff with it. And then finally for the altar time, I recommend Marvelous. And then this song here for the altar time, she does a song called Why Me? And it is an old Chris Christopherson song. He is an old country music artist. Let me tell you what, even if you don't like country music, and I'm not a big fan of it, this song, Why Me? Is it's probably my favorite song on the whole album. It is just my jam. And if you watched my devotion, by the way, a little while ago, you'll be up here somewhere. You could actually watch me do a little lip sync to it if you're interested in that. But the whole album is just awesome. I totally recommend CeCe Winans and Let Them Fall in Love. Now, for the final album here, just strap yourself in, get your seatbelts on. We're zigging when we should zag. We're going off the rails here. It is a industrial metal band called Death Therapy. Don't check out yet because the lyrics are hot. Death Therapy and The Storm Before the Calm. Now listen, this kind of album does not appeal to everybody. I get that. It will not appeal to everybody, but it's that one kid, right? That one kid in your group that says, I want to pass along some music to this kid that I think could reach him. This would be that album. Jason Wisdom, who's the front man of the band, interesting thing is that there is no lead guitar on this. What you heard there, there's no guitar at all. There's just bass and drums and vocals, and that's it. You're not getting much else with that, but it is super heavy, but I just love the vibe to it. I love the feel to it. It reminds me of old bands from the 90s like Mortal or Circle of Dust. Google those up. I know maybe some of you are not familiar with them, but the whole thing, if you look at like in your youth room, you can't play every song. You can't even let it run. If a deacon came in, you'd probably get fired. But the song Everything Burns, you could get away with that one. I think that'd be okay. For Bible study, great songs like Wake Me When I'm Dead, Prodigal, which is, it's prodigal, so it totally works in that vein, right? But the lyrics in both of those, I'm going to show you these lyrics here. Just look at the lyrics, and I know you say, well, I don't understand the lyrics, Paul. Let me point some out to you. You don't have to understand the lyrics. The kid has to understand the lyrics. And they will. Let me kind of walk you through some of the lyrics here of the band to kind of help you out and soothe your fears a little bit. Look at the song, The Lie. Take this emptiness inside, give me something real. It seems I can't rely on how I feel. Take this pain away, it's killing me, it's all I can take. Now set me free. See, this is what this type of music, at least because I grew up on it, a lot of it is just birthed out of pain, right? It's birthed out of a kid who's struggling, having painful moments, and this often reflects the inner dialogue that's going on inside that student. So that student is getting some of this, and it's becoming a prayerful thing versus just being a loud thing, right? The next one, look at Prodigal. It says, can you hear me? This is being the voice of God here, possibly, as I interpret it. Can you hear me? With my dying breath, it is finished. I'm swallowed up in death, but that's not the end. I am the victory. The grave is conquered and you can be free. See, it's lyrics like these that are just super powerful. They're what a kid wants to hear who's into that kind of music. It's harsh, it's brash, but the lyrics are hopeful. And so I hope that you'll take that into consideration when you're listening to music like this and hopefully sharing it with that kid in your youth group. Now, I've put a few extra tools for you in the Fresh Impact newsletter for this. I have some links to the death therapy, to the lyrics, also the lyric videos they have that you can kind of watch those. They're really kind of cool, very moody. You might be able to use them in certain circumstances. But also, just a little fun fact, the name death therapy, if you've ever seen the movie What About Bob? Death therapy that's the term that's used in there at one point, and it's kind of funny. So they're using it. It's not, everything is not glib, everything is not terrible, but it's going to reach a kid who's feeling that weight of life. And really, that's kind of the goal of the album, right? Is to reach kids and people of all ages who are feeling the weight of life and who are in that heavy place. And these lyrics could get them out. So, but that is it for today, everybody. I appreciate you guys hanging with me for a little while today. If you're brand spanking new to the channel, thanks for hanging with me. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. That's mean you like the video and want more of it. But more importantly, if you're brand new and have not joined the channel yet, please go ahead and click on my face over here somewhere, and it will take you, and you can get videos like this in your inbox all the time. So how cool would that be, right? And then if you're a regular, thank you so much. Leave me your comments. What do you think about the albums today? Would love to hear from you. And I just hope you guys have a fantastic day. Enjoy the music, and I'll see you guys next time.